What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another video. So yesterday, as I was taking a stroll out of town, I took a picture of the view in front of me. And y'all know I love to take a beautiful sky view. It's just so pretty. Yesterday was such a beautiful day, and it wasn't that hot. And on top of that, it had just stopped raining a little bit, so we needed that rain to cool things down a little bit. It helped a little bit. But it left a beautiful view behind after the rain. And I'm looking at the picture, and I'm like, this makes me think about leaving something behind or leaving someone behind, going away from, you know. So I thought about how narcissists respond to the discard. And they even do this after they've discarded you, but they do it differently. And I'm going to explain the difference between the way we discard them and the way they discard us. Of course, we discard them because it's a much needed separation. That's something that we have to remove out of our lives. We're doing it for our well-being. We're doing it for peace of mind. Narcissists, on the other hand, when they discard for punishment. That's why they discard. They don't discard because you've mistreated them. I also think that when it comes to the discard, narcissists become very delusional. They do some of the craziest things. And a lot of times it starts with the smear campaign. Of course, they have to hurry up and cover themselves and make people think that if they warn people ahead of time. Well, if you don't see me and this person together anymore, or if you heard anything, don't believe it. I've even heard a narcissist say, and this is one of the crazy moments with the one that I worked with. So we're new people in the workplace, so we're all sitting around talking, socializing, whatever, getting to know each other. She comes along and says, introduces herself and then say, and if y'all want to know anything about me, ask me. Whatever you hear, don't believe it. And I'm like, who introduces themselves like that to a stranger? That's a dead giveaway. That has guilt written all over it. It just goes to show that they're more determined with an image, keeping up this false image of innocence and, just being such a good person, something that they're the total opposite of. So it's just like, it's so obvious that something is wrong with this person if they always have to presume innocence when nobody's even thinking about them, And I don't think it has nothing to do with guilt. If anything, it has everything to do with pride and ego. They're constantly forcing themselves on people. And before you get to know them for yourself, they need to convince you that they're a good person, So everything about the narcissist is a lie from beginning to the end. So when they go into the discard phase, because you cut them off, the narcissist, again, they start the smear campaign. They presume innocent so that you don't even get a chance to see both sides, hear both sides of the story. A lot of times narcissists, they become very active on social media after the discard. They create new pages, and they do this to escape the reality of the discard. In their mind, they can make you disappear even after you have made them disappear. After you have cut ties with them, of course, they're going to look at it as something that, It's something that makes you look like a bad person. And for that, they have to punish you now. And there's no need really to explain, because they have not a care in the world when it comes to you explaining to the narcissist or questioning them about their motives and why are you doing this. They did this for a reason. They use it as bait so that you can approach them, and now comes the punishment. So they take it the wrong way. It's like when they talk behind your back and just make up lies on you, just make up lies and rumors, and you have had enough of it to the point you confront them. The narcissist was waiting on you to do that, because they could stick it to you as long as you take it. So they were waiting on you to confront them so that they can say, don't ask me nothing. Don't ask me nothing. You stop talking to me. Keep it that way. I've been told that before about a narc. When I was like, well, I still don't want to talk to you, but I would like for you to stop lying on me. I would appreciate if you just stop speaking on me, period. There's nothing to talk about. I choose not to deal with you anymore, and you should just accept that and move on, instead of speaking on me and making up lies. That's what I said. And she got so loud because that was not the response she was expecting to get. See, out of everything I said, all she heard was, well, I still don't want to be, friends with you anymore. I'm still good on all that, but I would appreciate if you stop speaking on me. Out of everything I said, that's all she heard was, I don't want to be friends. She didn't hear the part where I needed her to understand that this is not a good thing you're doing. I don't appreciate it, and it should stop. Because they have selective hearing. And, they just pick out of what's good or what's bad of the conversation. And they treat you based off that. So there's really no need to even explain to a narcissist how you feel about the way that they're acting, because they already know what they're doing, and you don't even really have a care in the world about them anymore going forward. They know that. That's why they need to create a whole new reality. They need to create different memories of you. They need to make you out to be a horrible person. Because if not, people are going to question, why did things come to an end? So, of course, they got to create you to look bad now. And they will do anything that it takes to minimize and disregard your feelings. Again, if you confront them and say things like, why are you doing this? Of course, you're asking them because you need to get logic from the whole situation. And that's something they're not willing to give you, So there's no need to ask for an explanation when it comes to narcissists. They go on social media, create new profiles, and they just pretend to start over new. And slowly they'll gradually start to add pictures on there, anything that may capture your attention. If you're still friends with them, better off blocking them and not engaging with anyone that has anything to say about them, because you don't care, remember? You moved on. You cut ties with them. You leaving that behind. You're moving forward, And then also you got to think that they're only doing this. You got to remember, the narcissists, they're not living this so happy life. Everything's not peaches and cream with them. They want you to think that. It's all an illusion. And they are delusional when they create another profile on social media or so-called socialize with other people. They're delusional. They want you to think that they moved on from you. They want people to think that they moved on from you first. But you're all inside their mind, and they can't hide it. They make it look so obvious at times, So don't even pay it any mind. Let them do what they do. And God will put you up in places where people think you don't belong because of the narcissist. They're too busy trying to compete with you and wondering how you got there. Just keep it moving. I'm sorry my time ran out on the video, you guys, so I'm just adding this little part on. But like I was saying, God will put you in places where people think you don't belong. And that has a lot to do, trust and believe. It has a lot to do with a spiritual attack based off something the narcissist created. All that ties in with the smear campaign. After the discard, you're going to start to notice a lot of the way people move with you, with the way they communicate with you. And you may be wondering, why is this happening? And I know a lot of y'all probably get tired of me talking about the smear campaign, but it has a lot to do with a spiritual attack. Well, a spiritual attack has a lot to do with a smear campaign. It was all a setup from the beginning with the narcissists. When they first start to just, study everything about you and pick up on everything in your life, they always was jealous of it. And they always had a plan to do this to you. Whether they discard you first because it'll make them look bad if, they get exposed for mistreating you, or whether you discard them first. They just feel such a sense of entitlement, like they have a place in your life. They belong there. They really feel like you owe them something. Because to a narcissist, it was always a competition thing. It was a jealousy thing. And if you discarded them, not only, that's an injury. That's a huge injury that they did not see coming, because this is the move they make most of the time. They make the first move. A lot of times they're the ones who make the first move to discard. So they were not expecting you to do it first. And, they think that everything is just a game and a competition, even though that's like the last thing on your mind. But little do they know that as long as you keep God first, you have already won. There's no need to fight battles with such toxic individuals. You already know where they're coming from because you've been there long enough to realize this is just who they are. They're not going to change. They haven't shown you anything different. When they did, you have to think back to, okay, what did they get out of it? A narcissist is never going to do anything for you if they're not getting something out of it. And sometimes you may say, well, no, they did it, but they were doing it in the name of love bombing. Or they were doing it to hoover you. But they were not doing it with the intentions of just being that type of person. That's not the kind of heart they have. That's not the kind of hand they deal with. So again, it's the further you move away from the narcissist and stay away from them, the better their environment is, not having to deal with their toxic energy and everything that just comes along with it. Let people talk. People gonna say what they want to say. Sooner or later, the narc will expose themselves for who they are, how malicious they are, and vindictive. People are gonna start to see them as the problem because they can't stop talking about you. You have moved on. You have since went far away, miles away, and the narc still got you in their mouth. And they're trying to make you jealous when they create these new Facebook pages by adding these new friends or new associates or people who they're dealing with now. They just want to make you jealous, but you don't care because you moved on. So thank y'all for watching. Leave your thoughts down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will talk to you soon.